JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 23rd of November 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, jumping into the charts, so the first one I want to pick up as always, Nikkei 225. So again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because again the same outlook remains valid. Waiting for this one to make a stronger move here. However, at the moment, given that yesterday equities drifted south a little bit here, then yeah. Basically for now we are keeping an eye on this this barrier here in order to get a little bit more comfortable with the upside. So far we're not really getting that move, so but of course let's see how today's not today's, but today's already finished, but how the next trading session will get along. Hong Kong Seng Index, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but let me just remove actually some of the drawings here, and some of them are no longer needed. Basically, you can see that recently, after finding some resistance here near this, not this one, but this one right here, near the 25,750 zone, the index drifted back down and ended up moving all the way back to this 24,695 territory right here, which somehow it's providing good support. So previously we looked at it as a resistance. It marks this inside swing high of the 29th of September. Then, as you see, it acted as a good area of support back in the beginning of November. Although we pierced through it, we never stayed below it. So let's see how this time is going to play out, because if we do stay below this area, below this hurdle, then well, further declines could be possible, and we could end up moving towards the lows here, the lowest point of September near the 23,771 zone, or this lowest point of October here, marked by the 23,681 level. So long story short, keeping an eye on this key support zone right here. Jumping into DAX, the German index. So yesterday it corrected lower again, and well, we kind of managed to break this upside line here, taken from the low the 6th of October. But let me just quickly have a look at what's happening right now on the cash index. Well, basically we are seeing a further move lower, and yep, for now, to be honest, everything seems to be quite on the bearish side, guys. So of course, ideally I would prefer to see it drop below that 16,000 territory in order to get comfortable with further declines. We're not far from there. We're currently sitting at around 16,030 or 40 zone, so we're somewhere around here, and yeah, if we drop below that 16,000 mark, at the same time we could drop below that 21-day EMA as well, and yep, then lower levels could be met. Nasdaq, so beautiful reversal, of course, went for a new all-time high. It hit the area near that 16,764, 65 zone. Yep, there we go. And yep, it was a sharp reversal here, and we moved all the way to this short-term tentative upside line, the one that I mentioned before. This one's taken from the low the 10th of November. Excuse me. So yeah, the cash index right now is trading slightly below this upside line. So in a way, there are some indications that lower levels could be met here. But initially, I'll target the 16,169 zone right here. I mentioned this one before. Around here, we could also test that 21-day EMA. So keep that in mind. For now, long story short, like I said, the cash index seems to be already below this upside line, so let's see if a continuation move lower could be possible. Yep, have a good morning to you too. I can see in the chat room there. And of course, good morning to everybody else who's joining in, guys. I mean, I hope you're having a wonderful start of Tuesday. Now, jumping into DXY, dollar index, and yeah, here you can see that the index continues to push higher, and basically we're clearing some of these levels that I talked about yesterday. Yesterday I talked about this 96.38 zone, which we managed to clear, and well, I mean, this could continue pushing further north, and for now, looking at this picture, I can see that it seems that there's no stopping for this index to move higher. Well, long story short, guys, for now, of course, if it continues to trade somewhere above that 96.38 zone, then of course, yes, I'll continue aiming higher. But if it starts falling back below the 96.24 territory right here, then well, maybe a bit of a corrective move lower could be possible. So let's keep that in mind. For now, it's like I said, yeah, it's just it seems that it wants to continue further north. Let's see how far it can do that. And jumping into gold, so beautiful drop here yesterday, and look at this. I mean, what I talked about yesterday was that if we drop below this 1834 territory, then well, this could increase the chances for a further move lower, and well, exactly, and that happened. So we drifted nicely below this hurdle. We ended up pushing not only to this 21-day EMA, but also towards this 18 to 14 zone, and well, as you can see, we ended up coming closer to that psychological 1800 level. So for now, I would say be very careful, be very cautious, keep your eyes on that psychological 1800 level, because again, that could be a nice little target. I do understand that we are not far from there, but we do have kind of a strong support here as well, because of the 100 and the 200-day EMAs. If that gets clear, then certainly my next target is this upside support line taken from the low of the 30th of September. WTI oil, so a small little correction here back to the upside from this 100-day EMA, and yeah, so looking at this picture, I mean, it's still kind of looking a little bit more on the bearish side, and for now, to be honest, I'm still leaning a little bit more towards the downside. However, at this point, I would rather stick to this 100-day EMA here shown as the green line in order to kind of examine lower levels. So yeah, keep that in mind. Yep, I can see that you wish to have a look at the USDJPY. Okay, let me see if I can pick up on that one as well. But yeah, just bear with me one moment. Where's my USDJPY here? Let's put it here into this. Okay, now then, jumping into a quick update on AUD and ZD. So okay, so to be honest, I mean, I'm quite surprised that it seems like for 2 months in a row already I'm kind of getting this one right. I mean, that's quite interesting. Okay, but probably, of course, something good always comes to an end. So yeah, let's see how this is gonna play out. But for now, to be honest, I'm gonna I'm gonna stick to this idea of this downside line holding, or let's say the upper side of the falling channel holding. However, given the kind of these, let's say, the sharp reversal already, so that's why I'm gonna take a bit of a calm approach here, because in a way the chances for a break of this upper side of the falling channel are increasing. So that's why I'm gonna, like I said, be very careful here. And if we do get that break through the upper side of this falling channel, then yes, of course, we'll go for some higher levels, especially if the pair also pushes through this 1.0456 territory, 56-57 zone marked by the high of the 16th of November. So keep that in mind. Okay, USDJPY very quickly on this one. So previously I looked at this, and well, let me just adjust a few lines here. First, I'll reuse those. First of all, of course, we broke this downside one. We violated it, and to be honest, this didn't really work out as I wanted it to. But okay, it's part of the game. Let's put it this way. I mean, given that we are stuck here above some of these tentative upside lines, I mean, of course, it shows that the trend to the upside is still strong, and it could continue pushing higher, and especially if the dollar index as well continues to rise. Now, however, the little problem here with this pair is that there is a yen involved in there. So if equities start suddenly drifting heavily to the downside, maybe yen buying could improve, and yep, we could see maybe this pair actually drifting lower. However, it will be quite an interesting battle between the USD, which is also kind of seen as a safe haven. So this will be quite an interesting battle of who will outweigh who. So if to put it on from the trading perspective, guys, and let's say certain levels, I would say go slowly, step by step on this one. For now, at this point in time, it looks quite positive. We have moved above this barrier, the previous highest point of November, near the 114.97, and if we remain above that area, and or especially above that 115 zone, if we stay above it, then well, we'll continue aiming higher. If suddenly we start dropping back below it, and we kind of start trading somewhere around here, I'll take a neutral stand and just going to observe the price action. However, if we start breaking this upside line, this steeper one taken from the low of the 22nd of September, then we might see maybe a bit of a drift lower, and especially if it also falls below that 21-day EMA, so keep that in mind. USDCHF, guys, very quickly. So this one's looking quite positive as well. Kind of similar story, to be honest, with the USDJPY. So we are looking at some higher levels, but given that we're seeing a slight little corrective move lower right now, again, we'll be very careful, just because, again, the same story, CHF could be seen as a bit of a safe haven. If equities start drifting lower, then maybe we could see some francs getting bought. So yeah, keep that in mind. For now, from the technical side, I would say, I mean, if it stays somewhere above this 0.9313 level, we might aim higher, we will aim higher, and our next target could be this 0.9368 zone marked by the highest point of September. For the downside, I would rather stick to this little level right here, this 0.9251. A drop below it may lead to some lower areas. US dollar against the Russian ruble here. Now this is something that I wanted to pick up as well, because basically we do throw out these reports sometimes. So let me just go back into our research page. So for example, last week there is one here, USD dollars against Russian ruble, and we did throw out an idea here, and yep, it seems to be working out so far. So try to check us out here, just for those random ideas that we get here. So I believe you can find them useful. And in here, I mean, this scenario worked out nicely, or still working out nicely. We popped above that 73.50 zone, and well, I mean, looking at this, it seems that it could continue pushing higher. However, at this point in time, you can see that the pair is getting a hold up near this highest point of August, near the 74.92 zone, slightly above it. We do have this little hurdle, this 75.35 zone as well, which could get tested. So for now, I'm still leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but I'm going to be very careful around these two levels. Well, especially this one, the 75.35 zone. Now, GBP and ZD, so this one is moving nicely to the upside, so everything's according to the plan. If you remember, I talked about this pair yesterday, so yeah, we had a nice little retracement test of this upside line, and yep, we're now pushing higher where we're testing the 1.9330 zone, and yeah, let's see if we can push a little bit higher, and if we can get a hold up near this downside line, then another slide might be possible. Now jumping into GBP USD here, this one is drifting lower, and well, looking at this, it doesn't look very positive. So first of all, let me get rid of this downside line. It's kind of not really valid. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep an eye on some of these levels. So for example, for the downside, I need to see a drop below this 1.3354 territory right here in order to get comfortable with further declines, because such a move would confirm a forthcoming lower low. Yeah, so for now, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. I mean, it's for the upside, we need to see a push somewhere above this area, and by the upside, I mean a bit of a larger, let's say, correction to the upside. So if we pop above this 1.3514 zone, at the same time, we could rise above that 21-day EMA, and potentially more buyers could join in here. But at the moment, we're leaning a little bit more towards the downside. However, a break of this barrier is needed. And of course, one thing for sure is always keep an eye on the potential false breakouts, because yep, this could in a way drift nicely to the downside, but then by the end of the day it could reverse, and let's say the body of the daily candle would remain above this hurdle, and well, a lot of traders could get taken out here like this. So yeah, always try to protect yourself. So let's say if it's the first time that it breaks, I mean, if it moves nicely to the downside, yes, you could take advantage of that, but also very quickly, once you're in profit, quickly place your stop loss just on a break even, so that in case this reverses and kind of by the end of the day just kind of comes back and you know, stays above this breakout point. So we've seen this happening many times, and you've seen that yourself, so just be very careful. EURCAD, so this one is quite interesting still, because we are seeing a nice little push to the upside. However, as I mentioned to you yesterday, a break of this downside line is needed. So until then, we will just kind of continue, let's say, observing this one, because I don't want to jump into anything. We did have already quite a decent decline, so maybe a bit of retracement could be possible. However, we're still below this downside line, so it's yeah, it's a little bit of a bit of a difficult one. For the downside, I need to see a drop. I would rather stay careful and wait for a drop below this hurdle right here, this 1.4177 zone, and then yes, this would confirm a forthcoming lower low. Now, EURUSD, so dropped below this 1.1255 territory and stayed below it, so I mean, everything's looking quite nice here for the sellers, or should I say it was looking now, because we will be very careful. We did have that drop already, quite a decent one, so maybe a bit of a retracement could be possible. However, I'm not excluding still the possibility of this one to drift all the way towards that 1.1169 territory right here, marked by the low of the 22nd of June of last year, and maybe from here it could reverse back to the upside. So basically following the logic of if you think that let's say it stopped falling, it will always fall a little bit more. So yeah, that's why I'm going to be very careful here. And in terms of the downside here, let me just grab one of these levels. I'm going to keep an eye on yesterday's low just for now. If we drop below that yesterday's low, which is roughly around that 1.1230 zone, yep, further declines could be possible here. If it climbs back above the 1.1255 and stays above it, maybe we could see a bit of a retracement here to the upside towards that 21-day EMA, and then we'll take it from there. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments. Really, all that is just perfect. Thank you for that, and yeah, so I hope you found it useful. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.